Hi, YouTube. How is everybody doing? Today was really interesting for me. I was going to recommend Og Tellez and some physics to somebody, but they I know they're not ready for it, or if they do, they'll happen upon themselves. So I held back on that. And then he put through a video with a guy by the name of Brian Tate. So, I don't know whether to recommend this man or not. I don't know enough about him, but it was a very interesting interview, to say the least. So, if you're interested in listening to a man's view on his spirituality, um, is very interesting. Um, One thing he did say is he used to have to preach on a mountain, so, but now he's got this. So, and that brings me to another something something. I saw a message from somebody that doesn't believe in God that has been talking to me, and well and fine. You're more than welcome to talk as long as you're not trying to harass me. If you are, I'll just block you. I don't care. But I will give you this. I didn't look at your message, I just saw the name. And I'm not out here to be your spiritual leader. I'm out here to be friends with people that I know have God in their heart, or even if you don't know you are, and you have a decent disposition about yourself and friendly and kind, that type of thing, and you're not planning irritations towards me, then you're more than welcome to stay. If you are, like I said, I'll just shag you. Go find a spiritual leader to argue with about God. I'm not doing that with you or for you. I don't want to tell you what to believe or who to believe in or why. With that said, what you believe, what your beliefs are, that's yours, not mine. Don't put yours on me. Don't watch my channel. I'm not trying to put mine on you. So as long as we got that clear, we're all good. Lady, be quiet. So, okay, then I was going to talk about healing from the inside out and why a lot of times people, um, not that when they get older they believe certain things, but knowing all along who you are and the Christ blood and the healing power that you do have within yourself. Um, Doug was telling me, well, several times has told me about his uh, head injury that he had when he was 21 years old. His cousin and him were riding on a motorcycle 70 miles an hour. They had an accident, and Doug went flying off the back, and his cousin went flying off the front. Well, his cousin had been a medic in the Air Force and had just got home from Vietnam, or, had served there. And so when he got back to Doug, Doug's heart had stopped and he had to resuscitate him. And he had a gash on the top of his head about 3 inches long, hole in his head. And his cousin said, I can sew that up for you. And Doug's like, well, no, um, uh, I need some air in my brain, is what he told his cousin. But as far as healing from, and that was a deadly wound, and Doug was dead. His cousin resuscitated him. So talk about freaky. And he was born dead too. So, but talk about a beast healing from a deadly wound. I've done that so many times. And then I was thinking about the last time the Mason that raised me, adopted me, tried to kill me several times. The last time he directly tried to kill me, as far as I know, I was 12. Doug said that's probably when he stopped being a Mason. I think so, because it was right after that that him and his Jesuit buddy in the Blue Lodge started training me and showing me the white papers with all the physics and scriptures and that type of thing in there, all the Gnostic beliefs and what was real and what was not real, what the universe looked like, everything. So, and then along with my religious teachings to be able to understand, I mean, every religion, not just one, all of them, all encompassing economics and social cultures and everything around the world that so in depth my brain just about popped, but it didn't. But okay, so I'll tell you about the last time he tried to kill me and what happened. Um, just one of the times people have tried to kill me, but out of the thousands, and God always saved me. That's my story, nobody else's. Well, if you got it too, that's, I mean, I'm not saying you don't. Obviously, I know some of you do know that's a fact. But okay, so I was in the water. I was in the back of our runabout, our boat, and he was gonna run it up onto the trailer. He's standing up, he's looking backwards. He backs it up and goes to back it over me, which the propeller would have got my legs. It would have split me open, and I would have bled to death because we were out in the country on a lake before he could have got me to the hospital. And even though he probably could have taken care of me, if it had chopped my legs, 9 times out of 10, I would have probably bled to death. Most likely. Okay, so anyway, tried to kill me, backed the boat up, and all of a sudden I was like, yikes. It was one of them God moments where I saw like a gold, slushy, dark stuff in my mind's eye, and I swear he saw it too. And then all of a sudden there was like a whiteness and an extra boost out of the way, and it wasn't my adrenaline, and it wasn't just in my mind's eye. It was a physical light hand grabbing me out of the water, out of the way of that boat. And as fast as runabouts really are, um and can be, the look on his face when he didn't accomplish what he wanted to do, after this is after several attempts, was glorious. So I call them one of my God moments. And I'll just tell you another God moment real quick. Here's a for instance. I'm walking across the street. It's icier than goose grease out there, and a car comes around the corner, starts sliding towards me. In that moment, I'm thinking, oh God. Well, people might not think, oh God, in that moment, but they think, yikes. That's an oh God moment, whether you know you're calling our Father or not. That's exactly what it is. And I'm not debating apples and oranges with people who, whatever, if you believe in divine intervention or not. I'm just telling you, I was inches away from getting smashed. One of the many times that almost happened too, but this one time in particular, thinking, and in a split instant, it went like that far from me. And it was a big car too. And people, it's easy for people to say, oh, these people are getting blown up over here and these people, but and then you forget that your spirit lives forever. So you're looking at all these deaths as Satan wants you to look at them, like it's the poor me thing is what I call it. It's like everybody all over the world is suffering, but you're not learning anything from it. Not everybody. I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking about in general. People do not count their blessings, they count the sorrows. And the sorrows are many because Satan controls this world. I ask people that don't believe in God, do you believe in Satan? I bet the hell you do. So to go on with my story, we're not genuinely counting our blessings, we're counting the sorrows because they're more apparent. It's more obvious who runs things at this moment. It's also very obvious the power that's coming in through people like us that aren't going to tolerate it anymore. Um, let's see. So, yeah, um, I was dwelling on that today, thinking about all my counting my blessings moments instead of the sorrows. And trust me, I mean, just for me personally, like when I threw a great big rock over a cliff and went with it and thought, oh God, and my ex grabbed me, and my ex was evil. He did not want to grab me. That was Jesus Christ working through him, and he knows it too. That's the funny thing. And the people that were with us, there's great big logger guys, and they hit the ground. They were so astonished. Um, they couldn't believe it. Um, neither could my ex. Things like this that these are my old God things, but or even drowning and floating back up to the top on my back and having God put the life right back in me. Or when I was hit in the back of the head and my head split open and I laid there dead until God revived me. And then I got to the hospital and I had concussion and crack and whatever right up the back of my head. Um, just just things that when I call my old God moments, I know who helped me, who healed me from the inside out. I heal. And if I'm in a foul mood and I'm following Satan, he's not healing me. He's aggravating that wound. He's pouring salt in that wound. Um, like people that would try and irritate me, you're working for him. You're pouring salt in my wounds. But you know what? I heal from the inside out. So I stay happy every day, all day long, regardless, because of that fact. And now I know that these people are trying to incite civil wars between, say, like my Muslim friends, um, and me, um, with no religion, just a spiritual belief in a creator. Because I didn't make myself, I can't make a drop of rain. All these little, I didn't make my eyes. All these little things inside my body, every cell. Um, I know I am not a machine. Little things that kind of indicate something very powerful. Even that made Satan something very powerful and creative, you know? And when God takes his fire back from Satan, all the people that are following him are going to be stranded, so to speak. So, um, I don't know. I did a little video over on Facebook yesterday. I think I mentioned that, but I thought about it again today, and I thought, no, no. Um, I have a, oh, shall I say? Okay, well, here's a for instance. Everybody that has gotten to know me. If I think something or if I'm sad, you'll put out a video and it'll correlate with how I'm feeling and to help me like that. And I try to do the same in return. That's like remote viewing, it's our mind's eye, it's ourselves within ourselves with the Holy Spirit being able to feel each other. Well, the bad guys feel us, we feel the bad guys, but they pretend that we don't and we can't. And it's not remote viewing, it's nothing special. Nobody is gifted any more than anybody else. But I was asked, how was I able to say what was going on with this person? um and I was like, because I can feel it in my cells, and with the spirit of Christ through me, I see things, you know and the more closely connected you are actually physically with blood, the easier you can see too. um, or with the Spirit of Christ. Some of us kind of just came ahead to try and help out, but that does not mean I'm necessarily somebody's teacher. I'm not probably on your side of the team, if you get my drift. Um, so kind of go pour salt in your own wounds, because you know what happens when you hurt somebody else? You end up taking it upon yourself. You really will. Next time something bad, rotten happens to you, you literally did that to yourself. Unless you're literally carrying a part of the world for other people, or you're a parent that would literally take on pains of your children and go the extra mile like that, you're not doing yourself any favors by being cruel to other people, or even the thought of it, you know? So, whether you believe in God or not, it's like if you came in my house and you were sitting here having coffee with me. Um, if you started an argument that didn't correlate with my regime, my home, my thoughts, damn right you're out of here. Who wouldn't be like that? It's like if you go out in public and you're in a restaurant and smoking's not allowed, but you light up a cigarette, they're going to kick your ass out. You got to conform to the regime. Well, my channel's my regime. You know, this is my platform for what I'm saying. The people that agree and are like-minded like that are the ones that I'm able to um, connect with, literally, you know, and that's a big deal nowadays, who you're connecting with. You feeding the bad spirit or the good one? That's all there is to it. And your words will be obvious to all. Your deeds, what you do, how you think. We hear you. We all hear each other. So why pretend we don't, right? So, I'm not gonna let you get me mad, because I'm really not in the mood to be mad anymore, um, or even angry. I say, dogs get mad, people get angry. Well, I'm neither. I'm a little bit irritated, but Satan will do that every day, no matter who he uses. Using you. He's using you. Don't you get it? You're the one who's going to end up hurt for it, not me. You can only bug me for a moment. But what you take on for yourself gets out there in the ether and it's going to come back at you. One way or another, that's the way it works. You end up, like, if you go to set my house on fire, you're burning down your own house. You know, which I've had my house burned down too. So, um, I really couldn't say it any more clearer. What comes around goes around, and it is very true, but a lot of people don't look at it like that. They don't think, well, if I smack Joe over here, all I'm doing is hurting my hand. That's not like that. When you smack Joe, you just smacked yourself. You know, if I hurt Karen, I'm hurting me. You know, which would be pretty ridiculous now if you think about it like that. Because then God will look at you, or whoever, because Satan likes to take the reins with the punishment too. So, whoever is going to dole out what your spirit calls onto itself is what you're calling onto you. You're not doing anything to anybody else, you're doing it to yourself. So, I found myself in the position to back off of relationships with people that are set behind by their own thoughts, by their training from their forefathers, by the chaos in the world that is intentional to set people back, intentionally. Um, the name of the game is to get you down, no matter how they can get you down. You know, no matter who they have to use to do it. Or it could even be your dog. Like I'm going to talk about something pertinent. What does my dog do? Yell like a coyote. She knows she can hear my brain. That electricity goes into the ether. Satan hears it and he's like, scream. Well, he can hurt her little brain. She's tiny. She doesn't know how to protect herself, but animals can be used against you. That's why I say now, I was offered to have somebody buy me another horse, and I'm like, I am not getting any more animals. You couldn't bribe me with a gazillion dollars for anything in any extreme. But if you feel as though you're a targeted individual, I would say right now, first off, if you're not a target, you're working for Satan and you have no business with an animal of God's. And if you are a targeted individual, don't get an animal because it can be used against you and it will suffer unless it was literally made for a special needs situation, which I could see that would be the case in some extremes. Like if somebody actually literally needs how to learn how to treat something that's alive without a coldness that goes along with how people display things to each other in their cold, offish manners. It's like, I don't want that offish crap. I can't stand it around me. It's like, ooh, if you're going to be off putting, you go be off putting somewhere else. We have a landfill about 10 miles away. Maybe you want to visit that place because I don't do garbage here, you know, the low vibe thing. So don't bring me down, clown, you know. I don't know if you're a girl or a boy or what you are, and you told me to go watch somebody that you said had class. So called people that had class raised me. I could have had my own island. They were trying to bribe me to stick around, and you know what? What's class got to do with what's in somebody's heart? Class? I could be dressed to the nines and be the dirtiest thing inside. I could pretend I was so sweet and never say a bad word about anybody. But what would that matter? I could have the coolest car in my state, which I do. But anyway, that's another story. Um, Class, if you're going to describe when I ask somebody, I asked them what's this person's deal on Twitter. Go follow this guy on Twitter. Why? Because he has class. Okay, class indicates to me that this person is set aside in some kind of pinnacle to be looked upon. No, thank you. First off, there's only one guy in a suit that I'll watch, and dude's a warrior. Uh, So if it's not wearing a suit and it's got some kind of class, tell me what this person does. What's its thing? What's what value in life does it have besides a word of class? Don't tell me what class they're in. Tell me of their spirit, of their self. What do they do? You know, do they teach you cooking classes? Do they teach you how to outclass the classiest? Do they teach you language skills? Are they a linguist? Are they um, a parental example? literary scholar in historics or a physics major, or, what's the guy's deal is what I asked. I didn't ask what class he was in. I don't care about that. In fact, that turned me off right now. I still want to know what his deal is. I won't watch him anyway. I'm telling you that right now, because by your example of how whoever you are, um, what you displayed to me made me not want to go watch what you're watching. You see what I'm saying? So, with that said, enough on that. So, but yeah, so I had to set my thoughts aside and my wants, um, desires of family, closeness, this type of thing. I have set on the back burner until people play catch up, because doesn't matter. I don't want to conform or reform or confirm anybody. That's not my thing. Do what you will. Whatever you want to do, go do it. Just leave me the hell out of it. I'm not trying to change anybody. If you know, I'll tell you the Gestalt prayer. It's uh, written by a guy named Frederick S. Pearls. It goes, I do my thing, you do your thing. If by chance we meet each other along the way, it's beautiful. If not, it can't be helped. There you go. So that's all I got to say to that. You know? Yeah, that's how that is. I'm not gonna fight with anybody for their selves. I'm gonna do me, and I'm not even fighting for me, because God does that for me. So, um, you'll see. That's all I can say. Time will tell. You know. So I really don't know why people ever got the idea that I would want to. Uh, what would the word be? Um, Change who you are. I don't want to change who you are. I just don't think you belong over here trying to change who I am. That's all. That's what I'm saying. You know. So peace, whoever you are, girl, boy, in between, don't care. Um, Adios. Have a good life. I don't want to have to block you. Just shut the hell up. You're done now. Um, Go play with somebody else. I don't play around here at all. If you want to keep being a jerk, why don't you just, hey, I live in Pine City, Minnesota, USA. If you want to come to my house and give me shit, I dare you. In fact, I welcome it, because you will not be able to handle the strength of my mind in person. If you think this is crazy, it's way worse in person, I'll guarantee you that. Horrible. You will not survive. So, just telling you. So, I welcome that. Anytime anybody wants to come have a debate about God with me in my house, oh, please. Or we can take it outside. Even spar. I'm a martial artist. You want to work it out like that? It's like maybe God's on my side, maybe he's not. You would see that, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And I don't just do it one way. I'm not this preacher up here saying, you have to believe in God. I don't care if you do or not. Do you understand that? Okay, I think you do now. But I do spar and I love it. and I know many martial arts, and judo's my favorite, and aikido's my second favorite, and taekwondo's my third favorite. Although kung fu comes in handy, and I'm not much into karate unless it's just a sideways donkey kick, but those are kind of obsolete. There's more like a sweeping axe kick when you put some jump into it, that type of thing. Um, that's one of my favorites, but if I'm having to get tricky, piss on all that, I'll just drop somebody immediately, and that'll be that because I size people up. God tells me how their cells are situated and where to hurt them, and then I take you out, and that's it. And that's what I do on here too with my mouth. So you really aren't able to debate me with their words over there. You end up looking foolish. You really do. Because you're arguing on a channel that you don't believe in with I don't know what. I don't know what you think your what are your guns? What do you got to back yourself? You know? I have strength. I have God. I have intelligence. I have kindness. Um, I have the example of who I am as a person and how I conduct myself in life towards other people. And if you push on that, then you're conducting negative energy towards yourself out of me. I don't carry that. You take that upon yourself. If you push it to the limit, own it. I will. That's my right. Because I don't play these baby games. Oh, you're a Christian. You can't swear. Oh, you're a Christian. You'll never hit anybody. Oh, I'll fuck you up. Got that right. Come to my house and get sassy. I don't like to shit back and forth. Oh, I can't even see your face. I don't even know who you are. That's bullshit. Cowards. You know. So maybe we can be friends. Maybe we can work this out. But don't come over here trying to convert me. I'm not trying to convert you. Like I said, I'm not here as your spiritual teacher. I'm here in spirit with the Holy Ghost inside myself, and I will scare your ass with it. I'll guarantee you that. So, with that said, I pretty much got on here to let a friend of mine know about the beast with the deadly wound, and uh, I would say a lot of very intelligent people that I know have had head wounds and have recovered and do have spiritual guidance. Know of the Christ blood within ourselves that heals. Um, Even heals the sorrows of the world because we see further than that. We know we are that spirit in a pool of spirits, but we're individual. We know who we are. We just want to show other people you are that. You're you. You are individual. But we're all swimming in the same pool, aren't we? You know. Well, so that was that, and I probably will read no name, no face person, whoever you are. Just call you Cousin It. Whenever I run across these no name stakes again, I'll just call you Cousin It. Hey, Cousin It, I don't know you. Put a face behind that icon. Give me a name. Who are you? Where you live? What do you do for a living? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? You dislike me? Bye bye. I gotta say bye bye, people. I love you. Even you mean one. You have very interesting conversation. I can tell you're highly intelligent. Don't waste it on me, buddy. You know, I'm not gonna waste me on you either. So, whatever. So, everybody, thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed my somewhat long winded semi rant explanation of my day. So, anyway, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.